Welcome back to the Let's Be Real podcast. This video will be about I will give my personal intake on the whole Kyrie Irving trade situation. The trade just got finalized the last week, so I give my inputs on the trade from Cleveland, the Cleveland and Boston trade, and my opinions about it. And also I give my takes on Kyrie himself and how do I feel about him as a player. Do I feel like people overrate him and all that good stuff. So first things first is the trade. So the trade was finalized last Thursday. So the trade included Kyrie Irving going to Boston, and Boston sent Cleveland back Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, a Brooklyn's first round pick, which could possibly be the number one pick next year, a second round pick in 2020, and another rookie that they drafted this past year. I think his name Auntie Zizik or something like that. No, he's a big man. I remember seeing him in summer league, so he was a pretty okay. His trade itself, I think Cleveland won it hands down, even with the scare of Isaiah Thomas' hip injury, so to say. As long as Isaiah Thomas comes back from the hip injury this year, Cleveland will definitely go to the finals. I think that's what the trade really finalized to me. Before that trade happened, it was a legit chance that Boston had a chance of going to the NBA Finals over Cleveland. For the simple fact that Kyrie demanded trade, him and LeBron probably was going to clash throughout the season. Or not just with LeBron, probably him and his other teammates just wanted to trade. As for the rest, for Boston's sake, Boston had signed Gordon Hayward, drafted Jason Tatum. Yeah, they had traded Avery Bradley, but they traded him for Marcus Morris, which they needed another big man after Kelly Olynyk had left and went to Miami. So they were pretty much in driver's seat to possibly get to the finals. I think that trade really reversed the whole aspect of them getting there, for the simple fact that they traded so many pieces. Well, I ain't gonna say so many pieces. They really traded Isaiah and Jay Crowder. That really mattered this year for them to get to the finals. But you gave away one of your veteran defensive players, and you helped Cleveland from a toxic situation. You basically gave them a player, in my opinion, towards Kyrie's caliber. Yes, he's 3 years older than him, and he's 3 feet shorter, or however, 4 or 5 feet shorter, however much shorter he is than Kyrie. But they're both the same player. Both of them are great offensive players who score, great scorers, but they're a liability defensively. And I would say Isaiah Thomas, I don't know, I'd say Isaiah Thomas is a little better playmaker and making his teammates better, but not really. Like, really, they are the same exact player. Kyrie probably a little more dynamic, as in you're a little more scared of him for him being taller and his ball handling ability. But outside of that, they're really the same. They both great scorers, don't play defense, and really make the teammates better. The difference with them two in this trade is Isaiah Thomas was the perfect fit for Boston, as in we know he had the leadership ability. He showed it last year, the heart, the grit, determination. He was the heart and soul of the team. Kyrie, on the other hand, I don't know if we just don't know. His 3 years before, his first 3 years in the league before LeBron got there, Cleveland didn't do nothing. You could say part of it was his team, another part was him being young. Once LeBron got there, of course, they got better. And you say this is a short sample size. When LeBron was hurt, Cleveland didn't really win. And he was the focal point. LeBron get hurt. When LeBron just rested, period, Cleveland didn't win with him. Also, when LeBron went to the bench, Cleveland got significantly worse with Kyrie on the floor. Part of that is he need another star in the court with him. Part of that maybe the team, what some would say, the team is built and tailor-made for LeBron. So, like I said, time will tell. So just going back on trade, like I say Cleveland wins the trade for this year, as in getting to the finals this year and everything. Boston may ultimately win the trade. Now, I would say that because who knows, Kyrie, it all come down for the future. It all comes down to that pick. 1, how bad would Brooklyn be? 2, would it become a number 1 pick? And 3, with Cleveland, would that number 1 pick that Cleveland select, which would be Marvin Bagley or Michael Porter next year, will that player be better than Kyrie? because Kyrie still has room to get better. Now, do I say the trade makes sense? I don't know. From Boston's perspective, I can see Kyrie is younger than Isaiah, and he has, I guess you say, he has more potential to become a good defensive player. He probably has potential to become a good defensive player. All he has to do is try. Unlike Isaiah Thomas, he's too short. He's just too small in stature for him to really become a good defensive player. Kyrie has the ability to possibly become that. Kyrie also possibly has the ability to become a better playmaker for his teammates. He may also, you can make a case that he probably just didn't get that chance in Cleveland because of LeBron. And like I said, before LeBron got there, he was too young. He was, first 3 years in the league. He was 19. When he was at Duke, he only played 7 games because he got hurt. So that could be a case. And also, he has injuries problems his own self. Last season was the first time he really stayed healthy for an entire season consistently. Outside of that, every year he had some type of injury where he had missed some time during the season, including that first NBA Finals loss to Golden State. So overall, as of now, Cleveland wins the trade for this year. Then going to next year and years after, it all depends on, like I said, what the number one pick does for Cleveland. If it becomes number one pick, how high pick it becomes, who they get, will their player be as good equal to Kyrie, and also does Kyrie re-sign with Boston? He only has 2 years left on his contract, so we just see how that goes. The next topic is about Kyrie himself. I think I really just mentioned it a lot throughout talking about the trade scenario. How I feel about him as a player. I do feel like, I'm not going to go as far as say that he's overrated, but I feel like a lot of people overrate him in my eyes. He just not, like I said, I believe he can come better, especially now. He basically said, I want my own team. I want to get out of LeBron's shadow because he believes in himself. He trusts himself. So do I think he become better? Sure. He was just 25. He has played 3 years with LeBron. So outside of that should help him to become a better playmaker, seeing it firsthand from LeBron. I really don't think Kyrie is really a selfish player. It may be a selfish move, but it was kind of a smart move since LeBron is a free agent next year. He's probably all this hoopla, all these rumors talking about him leaving. So we'll just see. It's a good thing that he did get traded to Boston though, because now we get to really see, hey, can he really carry a good team? Because Cleveland could trade him somewhere like Phoenix. If he went to Phoenix, he wasn't making the playoffs. He wasn't carrying them nowhere. He's not that good. He's not that type of player. There's the difference between him and LeBron. LeBron could have went to Phoenix and carried them to the playoffs. Kyrie wouldn't have done it. Now, Boston, this team is already tailor-made to get to the playoffs. The question is, how far? Before they had a chance of going to the finals. Now, this year, no, I don't think so. But also, you have to take into account that they do have young players that he probably can mesh with over time, and they probably can become their team to come to finals, as long as he matures as a player, as he believes in himself that he can do. Now, my whole take on it is, can him and Brad Stevens connect? Brad Stevens and Isaiah Thomas were perfect because they both had the same mentality in mind. Kyrie, on the other hand, we don't know when he come in here and be selfish. So it really comes down to his growth as a player. Do I believe he can? Yes. Do I see it? I don't know. I do see Boston winning, but I don't see them winning as I thought they would win before, so to say. And also, a lot of stuff goes to this as in Jason Tatum is a rookie. We expect him to be good, but he's still a rookie. Jaylen Brown, this is his second year. Gordon Hayward, they just signed him as free agent. It's his first year in Boston. And him and Brad Stevens played, he played for Brad Stevens in college at Butler. They went to the national championship, and he almost beat Duke. But, just time would tell. So my whole thoughts on it is, first, Cleveland won the trade. Second, Boston can ultimately win the trade over time, but Cleveland can also win too. And you can win trades over time. A prime example of a trade over time winning was the Lakers and the Grizzlies. Initially, when the Grizzlies traded Pau Gasol to the Lakers initially wanted to trade. Why? Because they got Pau Gasol and they won 2 championships. And the Grizzlies got back Kwame Brown and Marcus Aldridge actually in the trade and a draft pick. What people don't realize was Kwame Brown was their expiring contract. Due to that, they got the money that they paid Pau off the books. They got rid of Kwame Brown. They got Zach Randolph due to that. So that's how we got the grit and grind era started, due to that trade. So over time, and the Lakers became a bad team like not too long after that. So over time, the Grizzlies actually won their trade, but the Lakers won the initial trade by winning the championship. That's how this trade can go. Cleveland may win it initially, but over time, Boston may end up winning it. So those are my thoughts on it. And my last thoughts on Kyrie is, do I love his game? Yes, I love him as a player. Do I think he's overrated? I think people overrate him, but I don't think like analysts, the whole general aspect of Kyrie, is he overrated? No. He's exactly what he is. He's a great offensive player, a great scorer, period. But he's not no playmaker or defensive player. But he has potential to at least become a serviceable, pretty good defender. As a playmaker, that's kind of something you got to already have as an instinct. He can get better at just trying to get his teammates involved more. Like I said, playing with LeBron might help him with this. So he has potential to become this great player that he thinks he become and his fans think that he can become. So be sure to go like our Facebook page, Let's Be Real. Follow us on YouTube, Let's Be Real, and parentheses Sports Podcast. Like the video, and subscribe to the page. Leave comments. That's what we want. And see you next time.